Hello everyone and welcome to Magical Me. I'm Jamie Mendez and this is my weekly Moon Day Oracle reading. This is going to be a reading for the collective for the week of November 20th, 2023. So before I go into the reading and what you can expect here for anybody who might be new to this, I will go over that in a moment, but I'll just give it a few moments and let people see that I'm live. As once again, I did not announce that I was going live today, but you know, that's okay. Who's meant to find it will find it, and that's just the way that it always works out. So just want to check this settings really quickly, make sure that everybody can hear me and see me okay before we really get started. So if you are tuning in, just shoot me a comment. Let me know how it sounds for you. Also, I never really know if, Facebook likes to sometimes glitch and I won't see the comments. So with that said, in that case, in order for me to know that, just you can send a thumbs up, a heart, or something that will just let me know, just like a reaction. This way I know that you're trying to comment, but I'm not seeing them. Going to check on my phone to make sure everything is okay on that end. Okay, I do see that it is live. Once again, though, I don't see any comments. So if you are trying to comment and I'm not seeing the comments, just send me a thumbs up or a heart or a reaction in some way, just so that I know that you are commenting and I'm not seeing them and Facebook is glitching, because that's what it does from time to time if I don't do the updates, which I don't always see. So with that said, welcome once again to my weekly Moon Day message. I'm going to go ahead and just go into what it is that you can expect here for anybody who might be joining for the first time. So welcome. I hope that you enjoy what you do find here. I try on, usually on Mondays, to go live with a message of insight into the energy of the week for all of us. These are not individual personalized readings that I'm doing here for people today. So I'm not pulling for everyone individually, but I am doing a collective reading into what we all need to know for the week, just to give us a little bit of a heads up, some inspiration, if you will, and to really have the awareness to work with the energy moving in divine flow versus kind of going against it and creating a little bit of turbulence for ourselves. So as I said, I pull a card, I use oracle cards, and I pull a card and ask for divine guidance, utilizing my oracle and intuitive abilities to bring forth that message of highest good and insight for all of us. And the way that it works, though, is I set the intention for divine timing, which means that anybody who's supposed to find this reading will find themselves here. And it doesn't matter if you're watching the reading live, if you're watching it on the replay, even months from now, if you find yourself here, there's going to be a message that resonates with you and what you most need to know at that specific time. All right. So I'm going to go over news and announcements really quick because I don't have many. I just want to go over my offer that I have going on for my 2024 year ahead reading. That is a monthly, 12-month reading. So you get month-to-month guidance throughout the coming year to give you some insight, give you some direction, some perspective from your higher self. It's a pre-recorded reading that you will receive. The special is still going on. I say special, it's an offer. It is $99, but it's almost between an hour and a half to 2 hour reading. And again, like I said, it's broken down per month. It's a video recording so you get to watch it back throughout the year. Jillian and Victor, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. How does it sound for all of you? Just want to make sure because I don't know if, like I said, I am on it. This device is pretty new, so I just want to make sure Everything is good. You can hear me, and Facebook is not doing any glitching. But again, that offer for my 2024 reading, it is still going on. However, I am booked through the end of January. So if you do still want to do the reading, even though January would be the first month of the year, even if I don't get that to you in January, I will still do a reading for January's insight and what you are meant to really reflect on or understand, and how you can integrate January's experiences for you. So rest assured that you won't miss out on anything. So if you're interested, once again, that is an offer there on my page. I'll share it again later, but you can go onto my website at www.magicalme.com. Remember, magic is spelled with A-C-K, magicalme.com, and go over to the shop and you should see the offering there. All right. Oh, thank you so much, Jillian. Oh, wonderful. Thank you both. I appreciate that so very much. All right. So I'm just going to kind of go ahead and get into it because, I don't really want to hold us up too long today. But so again, the Oracle readings, they work for divine guidance, insight into the energy of what we almost need to know. And I really want to go into, actually, I really want to share this first too, because I always forget to do it. So just give me a minute. See if I can do this. Okay, I think I did it. Okay. Let's hope I did it. All right. So, again, this is going to be a reading for the week of November 20th, 2023. It is in the States here, the week of Thanksgiving. But it's really just a time for us all to really reflect on the past year, our experiences, and how those experiences have shaped us and what they were meant to teach us, and how we can really look to those experiences, no matter what they might have looked like, good, bad, and ugly, and, have gratitude and look at the blessings that may have somehow been the silver lining in those circumstances. And so it's not just about this week of Thanksgiving here in the States, but it's just that kind of turning point, if you will, where we are just finished the last of the harvest festivals, according to the ancient pagan wheel of the year, which would have been at Samhain, Halloween. It's the third of the 3 harvest festivals where we really are able to reap in and bring in those blessings of all the hard work that we put in. And it's the pause before we launch the winter solstice, or launch into the winter solstice at Yule or Christmas, which is the birthing of the sun, the solar energy. And it's like a new Christ consciousness, which essentially can be interpreted as our unified consciousness, our unified light. All right. So it's not really a religious aspect, although I know a lot of people have that belief, that understanding, and whatever works for you is whatever works for you, but it is very ancient in origin, and it's again about the return of the sun. Okay. So with that said, I have decided to work with the Elemental Empath Oracle this week. It just would not stop jumping at me. This is by Miyuki Rose, and it's a really beautiful deck for anybody who's really focused on doing self-healing, self-work, right? So great time as we're in between that space of, kind of going through that rebirth energy in the with the solstice, but also a great time for reflection on how far you've come, and being grateful for those experiences that have shaped you, like I said, but it's also what more might need to still be worked through within ourselves. So that's why I really love this deck and that it came forward. But before we actually go ahead and do that, I'm going to just kind of call us into sacred space. And some of you are already familiar with this, but for those of you who are not familiar with that, what it really means is to kind of create to bring ourselves down into a very centered, grounded state. The reason for doing that is because it allows us to be in the best space to receive. When we are moving around through our day and through life, a lot of the times we are not grounded, kind of like our awareness, if you will, our consciousness kind of floating up out of our body energetically. Instead, so we kind of want to pull it back down and really just be earth, because it's going to allow us to really fully hear and receive what we are meant to receive from this message, because I'm going to say the message, but every single one of us is going to receive that according to how we need to, or how it's, how it reflects within our own selves and within our own lives, right? So that's one of the reasons to do it, but also because we are sharing energy across space and time when we're doing this. It's a wonderful opportunity for us all to kind of like channel in for that best possible message that wants to come forward. All right. So how we're going to do that is I'm just going to ask you to, if you can safely close your eyes where you are. You do not have to close your eyes to do this, but if you can safely close your eyes where you are and just take a nice cleansing deep breath in. And release the breath through your mouth. And as you do, you just feel your body beginning to soften. Just grounding into that relaxed state. Releasing any tension you might be holding in your shoulders, in your jaw, in your stomach, in your back. And just take another deep breath in through your nose. And release. Just feeling yourself be anchored into your physical body. Once again, nice deep breath in. And as you release, you're just letting go of all stress, all worry. Detaching from anything but the current, present moment. Connecting into the eternal now. Dropping down into our hearts. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and return to the here and now. And you should feel much more grounded, much more relaxed. And this is a beautiful practice that you can do at any time throughout the day when things just get a little bit overwhelming, especially with the holiday season, that's bound to happen. So just allowing yourself to really ground into the moment and just detach, because all that really matters is this moment, okay? All right, so once again, our message is going to be coming from the Elemental Empath Oracle, and we're just calling in the highest love, the highest source of all love and all truth and all wisdom to bring forward a message for highest guidance and insight for the week of November 20th, 2023. What do we all most need to know as a collective? Okay. Oh, wow. All right. It's interesting. It's the collective. Look at that message. And it's a number 9. And actually, it's interesting because in the Cosmic Oracle that I run with my business partner, Karen, from Oracles of the Light, I think the reading that I did for today was a 9, if I'm not mistaken. Hi, Dawn. Welcome, beautiful. Thanks for being here. Happy Moon Day. I think it was a 9. So it makes a lot of sense, as 9 is kind of like the point of transition, when you are ready to level up, when you are closing the book on an old chapter, on a major chapter, major cycle. Is they say that everything happens in 3s, where it's 3 cycles of 3s actually create that 9, which is the last and final of those cycles. So we're closing out a major chapter right now, and that makes sense where we are at in November, because that is the energy that November always brings forward. No matter where you are in the world, it doesn't matter which hemisphere, it does really bring about that number of completion to wrap up the old cycles, to be able to launch into the new. And that's where we are. October was leaving behind the old. Transition period was where we are right now. We're still kind of reflecting, tying up some loose ends, kind of getting that review, if you will, where we start to integrate the experiences. And then we move into December, which is the launching and the birthing of the sun, which is basically the return of the light within. So it says the collective, all is connected, collective growth and supported. So I love this because specifically this week and within the next month, we are going to be spending a lot of time with friends, with family, because the holidays really does bring about times of gathering. But it isn't just that. There's something really deeper that I'm hearing that's going on. And there is a massive global shift that's happening in the collective consciousness. And every single year at this time, we all have the opportunity to step up our consciousness. And that's what it talks to me. And we call it the Christ consciousness. It's, like I said, you can make it about religion if you want to. It's been, obviously it's what we're taught. There's that programming. But this isn't really about religion as much as it is about, the divine within, which is a reflection of the divine, externally without. So it's the collective unified light. This is a time where we say Christ consciousness. It is that. It is the consciousness of our higher awareness of really integrating the divine aspects of self into this physical being, this physical presence. And so we have that opportunity every year to step more into our light at this time. It's like, on that wheel of you, the spiral that is our journey is like cranking it up each time and winding it up and winding it up. As you're getting closer and closer with the more work that you're doing through your karmic chapters, your karmic cycles, your own life experiences, etc., you have more and more opportunity every year to step it up. But this year it feels even just a little bit more powerful. And I feel like that's because we've had quite a lot of alignments that have been happening that are unusual, that haven't happened in hundreds and hundreds of years. Some of them have never happened in our existence. They've never happened. Like this is the first time we're experiencing them. Kind of since our history, if you will. So some of them since like the United States history, it's fascinating what we've been experiencing in this lifetime. And it just really goes to speak to what we joined at this time for, what we all incarnated at this time for. And it was to see this mass awakening where, like I said, I can go into this really deep. I'm going to try not to, but for thousands and thousands of years, there's been a lot of enslavement in our consciousness and our programming. And it's kept us from really seeing the truth of who we really are, the potential as a collective, as our race, what the planet, all beings, animals, etc., what we're really all doing here, what the point of life really is, and how powerful we all really are. And so coming back into that Christic consciousness, it's really that unified consciousness, and unity is what is born at the time of the winter solstice. And it could be summer solstice depending upon where you are in the world, but we're still experiencing this as a collective because I am you, you are me, and we are one. There is no separation. That is the false programming that we've been taught. So in this interesting time where there's a lot of war in different places in the world going on, there's this battle over who is what. At the same time, again, it's about that separation that we've forgotten, that we are all one. There is no separation, so we shouldn't be really fighting over anything. But at the same time, that's what this leveling up is bringing more awareness to. It is helping us to remember the unification within our higher mind, and as above, so below, within ourselves, and coming more into our divine light, the truth of who we really are individually. But as we do this, it's a ripple effect that is also happening within us all. And we're stepping up our vibration. And we are also awakening to the importance of humanity, of oneness, of love collectively. Now, planet Mars just did something magical. Those of you who are in our Cosmic Oracle group, you heard about this today. Planet Mars is the representation of the divine masculine. So, and again, it's not about gender here. It's masculine and feminine across the board within us all. But the masculine part of us that has been kind of distorted, has been programmed in a more toxic awareness that, war is part of. Mars being the planet of war is also the warrior. And it is the planet that represents the divine protector, the divine consort to the divine feminine, and the energy that has the ability to take action. It is also associated with the solar masculine Christ consciousness that is born on the planet at this time every year. So as this is happening, Mars just came into this beautiful alignment with the sun. It's literally like entering into the heart of the sun. And when this happens, they call it a cazimi, and it actually creates a rebirth. Think about what the sun is for us. When we are born, we reflect on, there's many planets in alignment at the time of our birth, obviously, but we in modern day, we reflect more on the sun as our birth, right? Because it's where you're at, where the sun is at, that determines who you are, how old you are, what your zodiac sign is, etc., right? So think of this as Mars's rebirth. So it is a rebirthing of the divine masculine energy within ourselves and within the planet. This is like the ending of what the distorted masculine was bringing to the table, which is the separation, the greed, the power hunger, the distortion of what is love, of what is, how the masculine is the advocate, or I don't want to say the advocate, but the, trying to think of the word that I'm going to use here, the protector of the feminine and all that is birthing and blossoming and giving of life and nurturing. And it's this newness and seeing the world through a very different lens. And this will be creating a cycle that will actually take shape for the next 2 years on the planet. So this is a beautiful time where we're going to be looking at things in the world collectively very differently. And it's going to be more about the we versus the me and the I as we begin to work more together for the good of all. So I think that's a really beautiful thing also I have to say that this alignment with Mars and the sun again, it's that vitality, it's the newness, it's giving new life to something. It's happening in the time of Scorpio. Scorpio rules death and rebirth and intimacy and transitions. And so it shows this massive, at the time of Thanksgiving, at the time of the winter solstice, which is again the birthing of the sun god, right? So the masculine divine energy being reborn. So you can see all the pieces. I'm trying to help you connect them all together. And it doesn't matter, I'm Scorpio also, but it really doesn't matter if you are Scorpio or not. That has absolutely nothing to do with it, because we all have the blend of all the zodiacs within us. It would really show you separately where Mars is transiting in your own individual natal house, where this rebirthing is really going to influence you the most. So that would actually come into play. But this, again, is something that we are all going to be, it's like a collective orchestration, if that makes sense. It's a term I just heard. So once again, and look at this beautiful card with it says the collective, for those of you just popping in, and look at the light, how it's being woven, like the two Kundalini serpents that are the masculine and the feminine. They're being woven together in a divine unity, and it's like they're all reaching up to grab the light, to touch the light, to receive the light. So they're all leveling up. So collectively, in our consciousness, we are all leveling up. And I feel like, yes, I'm giving you this message this week, but I don't feel like this is a message for just this week. I feel like this is a message for the next 2 years, but I also feel like this is a message that it's helping us to understand and become more aware of for the next 2 months, or the final, not even 2 months, the final month or so of the year, what is going to be taking place. So understand that individually, what that looks like for you is that you're going to be opening your eyes up, or being asked and put in experiences or opportunities that are going to ask you to really open up and step up your consciousness. Because yes, this is happening across the board, but it is up to us also to do the individual work. So we're going to have to take the steps to shift the way that we are doing things, the way that we are seeing things. And remember that we play a role, even if you think, well, what role do I have with what's going on in this part of the world, or what's that part of the world? You do. Doesn't mean you have to get up and sign up for anything, but it has to do with, it starts with how you love yourself. It starts because you are that piece of the web that is the mirror reflection of everyone on the planet. And so how we see ourselves and how we treat others is also a reflection of ourselves. So remember that. So remember that what you do with yourself and how you treat others is creating a massive ripple across the globe, across that collective web that we are all woven into. So doing things that are, and asking you to maybe change the way that you're looking at something, there's going to be a lot of opportunities to let go at this time. Let go of anger, resentment, judgment. It's asking for forgiveness. We're going to ask to come to peace within ourselves, to set our hearts free, to step ourselves deeper into love. Can you do that? That's going to be the question that you are being asked by your higher consciousness, by the divine, whatever you call that, for the next couple of months. And it's going to really push you into those experiences where you are asked to change things and how you did them and how you saw them. And again, the opportunity to be more of the love that you already are is always there. It's just allowing ourselves to release the burden, the weights, the programs, the limiting beliefs, the old consciousness that we've been plugged into. So remember, we are as one. No one is going to get out of here alone. All right. So we all have to do this together, whatever that looks like for you, whether it is just smiling at a stranger, just whether that is donating, whether that's fostering an animal, whether that is showing compassion and mercy where you maybe might not previously have done so, whether that is sending blessings and thoughts of healing and peace to areas that aren't having those, whatever that might look like for you, do that, be that. Your heart will guide you. You'll know, because you'll have the experience, you'll have the opportunity. And it's that time where you're going to hear, are you ready to step deeper into love? How can you do that? All right. So what a beautiful message to come forward for us all. It's definitely deep. It's interesting. I didn't expect it to be this deep, but I should have known better, because the cosmic oracle messages, they've been going that way. It's been really deep. And, you know, we're going through a collective growth spurt, if you will. And so with growth spurts, sometimes comes some growing pains. So know that there might be some circumstances that you had to maybe go through, or might still have to go through, that are still facilitating the growth and still presenting the opportunities for you to really embrace your innate warrior, your innate Mars energy that is already in divine union with your inner Venus, that's in that romantic inner relationship within, where you kind of step it up and be that warrior for the self, but it's a warrior for love. Remember that. We're not here to fight. If we're fighting for anything, it's just for love. Right? All right, everybody. So I hope that you enjoyed this message. I hope that all of you have a beautiful holiday this week, for those of you here in the States, and those of you that are not in the States. I still hope that you have a beautifully magical week, and wishing you all the best. Thank you all so much for being here with me, your continued support. Those of you watching on the replay, thank you all once again. Be well.